You ready to go?
Alrighty. Good afternoon and welcome to the Orange County Industrial Development Agency Finance Committee meeting. The time is now 4:06 p.m. Bill, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, Mark Green.
Here.
Jeffrey Crest.
Here.
Linda Muller.
Here.
Dean Tambury.
Here.
4 of 4 committee members present. We also have another board member, Lee Benton, with us. For staff, myself, Bill Fioravanti, Shannon Manisi, our external CFO from RBT CPAs, and Kelly Riley here, Billy Iverson on audiovisual, our general counsel, Rudy Zoda, and our state monitor, Brian Sandage.
Notice of this meeting was properly provided.
Sir.
Alright, can I get a motion to approve the minutes as presented from our last meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second. Any questions, corrections, discussions?
You don't need to mention just typos?
Sure, if there's.
Just on page 4, 2 reports separated by month, not more. That's all. Top paragraph. Just a minor typo, that's all.
We all missed that. Sorry, thank you. It's a good catch. Everyone see that? She did
Yep.
point out
Yeah,
the
I did.
report separated by month? Okay. So
Alright,
we'd ask for your approval with that, with those changes.
is that a vote?
Yeah, you just, within the motion, it's
All
just that it's pending that change.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes with the change of month to month?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, second. Excellent. Any further conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, let's move to financials for this month. Shannon, you are back up.
Okay, so for March, the IDA had $2,500 of revenue from the EPA brownfield. You'll see it doesn't match the expenses down below, but I'll explain that in a second. And CD T-bill interest of $76,000, so $87,022.42 of income for the month. Out of the expenses, just like to point out that the travel and lodging is up slightly, and that's just based on attendance to a couple of conferences. And your office supplies and postage is also up, and that's related to overages on your copiers for the month. You'll see there's $20,642 for Bleakley related to the monitoring costs. If we go down to your IT support, that's up slightly from what is budgeted, and that's due to the GoDaddy annual subscription of $1,900. And membership, again, there were the New York State EDC for $1,150, so that's why that's up in comparison to your budgeted. If we go down to the EPA brownfield assessments, that $22,000 is made up of the $2,500 that's received up above. There is still an outstanding invoice of $19,903.53. So once that comes in next month, you'll see revenue, but not the corresponding expense. It's just a timing difference. And no other variances really from your normal allotted expenses for the month. So overall, $109,852.47 in expenses. So a loss of $22,830.05. Any questions on any of the items?
I do just want to make a comment really quickly because we're going to come back to this. So if you just make a note, you will see about a third of the way down Anshin, New York State monitor costs. You'll see that is empty, but we will come back to that. So just kind of circle that really quick as a reminder to discuss that, okay? Any further questions about this? All right, Shannon, please continue.
On the next page, you'll see that you have $271,000 in the operating account. There's $17,000 left from the escrows and just over 8.5 in your CDs and treasuries. So overall, $0.8 million in cash and investments.
And again,
And
nothing.
your next one matures in July as well.
What's on your mind, Bill? Anything coming up?
Nothing out of the ordinary,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Then, I mean, we should, yeah, it's about, I mean, we should be able to get by 2 months with 217,000, I think.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Shannon. Let's talk about our vendor list. Kelly, I
The
believe you're
first
up.
on page 7 is our March payables. Everything is pretty much the same, except for, as you go down, you can see almost to the bottom is We Are Royals. That is our commercial insurance policy for cyber insurance, for a year. And
Coverage we did not have before, by the way, but I added it for sure.
everything else is pretty much the same.
So it's kind of a monthly cost?
No,
No,
that's
it should be yearly.
Okay. I noticed, oh, I see, it is here. Graphic.
We got a few different quotes and compared them and
Good,
went with
yeah.
this one, yeah.
All right. I would like you all to take a look at the third entry down. There are 2 payments. In spite of what the newspaper says, we absolutely have been paying our fair share to Anshin. These are the invoices that we discussed. These are the roughly $20,000 out of $60,000 that Anshin could actually give us backup on, that we approve payment to them. The reason now, going back to your budget, why there's a blank spot, is because these were for invoices in October and November. So that was actually accrued as part of the 2025 expenses related to 2025. Therefore, it doesn't show up in the 2026 expenses. But I think we have to make it very, very clear that we do pay our bills where there is actual data backing up the billing. Again, in spite of what
No worries.
the newspaper says. Any questions about that?
No.
Okay. Kelly, anything further you'd like to point out?
No, just on the next page, it's, the bills that we paid from April 1 through the 8th, just to give you a snapshot. You'll be seeing this next month.
And I'll just add back on page 7 in the middle, HRP Associates, that's for our EPA Brownfield Assessment Grant. It's up about 10 grand over the previous month. It's just because between the 2 months, we have a lot of activity. We're really in full swing of that grant. We're gonna be drawing down most of those funds probably by the end of this year. So we're in full swing and that's going really great. That's a program we're really proud of.
$500,000.
Yeah, exactly that. The full half $500,000 will be expended.
Well, one hand, that's sad,
Yeah.
that we have so much land in this county
Right.
that is unusable currently. But certainly kudos to you and your team for getting that back on track so that we can use this for our people.
Absolutely.
Anything further we need to discuss about this right now? If not, then I would refer you to some of the handouts that you've gotten. As we discussed last time, we went through the,
Mr. Chair, should we approve these 2 things? The financials and payables?
yes and no, because I think we have to talk about this first,
Okay.
right? Because this is gonna be part of the billing before we approve.
So we might be adding to it.
But,
Yeah,
but would it be reflected in next month's payables?
well, yeah, because we pay our bills.
I understand that. But I'm saying, under the circumstances, the financials and the payables as presented, should we approve those as presented?
Well, again, though, we are going to have to pay these, and this is in January, so that is gonna fall in 2026.
Right. But
So,
maybe it'll fall in next month's payables, which wouldn't reflect here.
Okay.
I'm just saying, whatever.
No,
I understand what you're saying, but I don't,
I'll defer.
very simple.
I'll defer.
And also just wait on those approvals until we go
yeah,
through the
I
section.
think we go through this and
Okay.
see what's going on first.
Safer way.
All
Do,
right.
do we need Shannon to stay with us? For any
Uh,
reason? If you'd like her, that's fine.
nope, that's, I think we've used up Shannon's time wisely.
Great. Shannon's away at the conference.
Okay,
by the way,
thank
so
you.
thanks for joining us.
Bye, enjoy the conference.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
So, further, and, you know, conundrum to this situation is that we still have not received answers from the questions we asked for the October and November bill. As I've already stated, we paid what could be accounted for, but we will not pay until we get answers. Going off of that, we took a look at the December bill and the January bill, which you have in front of you. So these probably will be quicker than last month, because you will see that, well, let's just say, there's probably even less backup to these things. So, really quick, let's start with December. If you go to this page,
We have it in this form.
well, that's the questions that were asked.
Yes.
So if you go,
Oh,
you
is that-
should
okay,
have
thank
another
you.
one.
Give this. Yep,
He does not have it.
neither do I.
You do.
This is one.
No, that's one. But there was another,
Okay.
I thought you were given two things.
Yes, this is January, December and January.
Yes, this is it, right
It's
there.
laid out. No, we're
Yeah.
looking for that.
Well, this is.
Yeah, I have this.
Yeah, that's the question. If you could turn the page, yours is lengthwise, this is mine. I printed this out at home. I
Oh, okay.
printed it out.
Okay.
It's just a different type
Oh,
of
so
printout.
this is it?
Yes, that's
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So if we go down from the top, on 12-1, review of Cedar Lake's unemployment data. I would have been fine paying this, except in here it's call with stakeholders, call with council. So until we get information on that, I don't think we should pay this. And the question was asked, what stakeholders? Everyone agree?
Yep.
Next one, UTEP testing setup. This seems like it's in the realm of what's supposed to be done, so I would approve that. If you can make sure, Kelly, you're writing this down,
Yes.
that we will approve that payment. 12-2, review council's comment on report, follow up. What report? No idea. So until we get answers on that, I don't believe we should pay that. Next up, on 12-4, 2025 new application testing, that seems like it's within the realm, so I say we okay that. Next up, UTEP testing, again, seems it's within the realm, I say we okay it. Next up, new application testing, again, starting to seem like a lot of testing, but okay, it seems within the realm. Now, 12-8, call with stakeholders. What stakeholders? Not answered, I don't believe we should pay this. Next up, 12-8, work plan. I have no idea what that means until we get some insight into that. I don't believe we pay that. 12-9, review letter from council, call with stakeholder. Who, and who? Not answered, I don't believe we should pay that. View agenda, bylaw, changes, Green Mountain. That seems like it's within the realm, so I would say okay to paying that. 12-11, project management. No idea what that means. Until we get an answer, we're not paying that.
Question, just another technicality. Shouldn't it be council, not council, S-E-L?
Well,
Yes.
talk to them, they're the ones that wrote it.
Yeah, that is a typo. Consistently.
So, next up, 12-11. Review letter from council, comparison to recommendations, who, what, and what. No answers. 1212, verified numbers. What numbers? Nothing. Until we get answers, I don't believe we should pay this. 1215, review of work plan, review of response, call with council, call from stakeholder. No answers, no payment.
Just to clarify, did we ask these questions of them already?
Yes,
Okay,
these questions have been sent,
okay, but that was earlier this month?
yes.
These
Okay.
are kind of, to
They're on
me,
the front page,
same
I think.
ongoing similar questions, right? I mean, these are similar comments.
Yes.
But repeat instances
But
of the
repeat
same
incidents,
lack of
absolutely,
satisfaction.
lack of clarity, lack of insight. 1215, testing. No idea what that means. 1216, review of agenda. What agenda? 1217, committee meeting, board meeting, follow-up with stakeholders, litigation, call with council. What stakeholders, what call? 1218, review response of bill for Avanti job data. That seems like it's within the realm of business. I say we okay that.
Do you know what that is, though?
Yeah, I think that's the job data
Okay,
spreadsheet
that-
that I've shared, I think. So
across the
review-
board.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
1218, viewed committee meetings on YouTube. 100%, absolutely not. 1219, call with council, document review. Who and what document? 1222, data collection for New York State compliance review. What data? No answer. Next up, and this is interesting. 1222, preparation of database, $2,126.
7 hours and.
What database? What database needs to be done on this?
7 hours.
Oh no, there's more.
Oh, okay.
Sit tight. Next up, call with council, again, who and what? No answer. Now database preparation. So instead of preparation of database, now it's database preparation. That's another $1,700.
6 hours.
What database, who is it presented to? No answers. So, just for the month of December, they are charging us over $3,800 for some mythical database that they won't tell us what it's about, won't tell us what it's for, won't tell us its purpose, just wants us to shut up and pay them. Terrible. I would say they feel ashamed, but you can't feel shame if you have no honor and you have no integrity. At some point, I really wonder if Russell Shinsky at 3 Times Square, Gray Wank at 3 Times Square, knows the nonsense of what's going on in this shop. Because they talk about how they have full integrity of their firm, but yet, month after month of bills with no backup. Just because the law says you can bill up to $250,000 doesn't mean you have to. Terrible.
So my question is like, this is the first time we're seeing these invoices, these,
Yes,
from December.
yes.
So these were just invoiced. The last meeting we had questions, we haven't received anything back.
No.
And those, I mean, now I have to, for myself, those invoices were even before December then.
Yes, those were October, November.
So we're back,
Months and months.
of billing, right? So it makes it a little bit more difficult, obviously, to try to figure out, even for Bill, I would imagine, what would you do in December or whatever. So have we asked, then? I mean, obviously we've asked, but, I mean,
We've asked, it takes a little longer now because everything is council to council, so when we ask these questions, Anshin gives it to their council, so now that their council's involved, we're running it through our council as well, so we got a little buffer that's adding to the.
Yeah, but no, there is no buffer. It's been a month, over a month and a half, 2 months, since we asked for backup of October, November.
That's what I'm.
So there is no,
Oh, yeah.
oh, we're working on this. There is a complete stonewall,
There hasn't been any response at
None.
all at all.
none whatsoever.
I mean, Brian, I mean, is there anything that,
First of all, you get the bill every month. It wasn't just sent in. If you look at the bill you're looking at, the date it was emailed was on the 14th of January. So it wasn't just sent in now, it's misleading.
okay,
The question was, have we looked at these bills before? The answer is no. I did not have the time to go through January, February. I went through detailed October, November, and again, still haven't gotten any answers. Don't expect to get answers. Now I had the time to go through
I got you.
December and January,
Okay.
and this is where we are. But, let's make absolutely sure. As of today, have we gotten February bills yet from Anshin?
I have not received that.
Okay, we haven't gotten March either, so the whole "we're really on top of things" comment just now,
You got,
Yeah.
you got February's on March 15th. The bill would have been sent in through OIG. But in this, March's hours would be billed in the third week of April, but you wouldn't get that yet.
I don't believe I received the bill in February.
I'll look, I don't believe so either, but I'll look. Everything's from Kelly McGrath, right?
Yep.
I mean,
We got on March 2nd, we got a bill that the charges are from January 5th through January 30th. That's everything. That's the last bill received on March 2nd.
so now who's not truthful? Moving on, January. First one, 1-5, review with council. Who? No response. 1-7, recommendation review. Recommendation for what? No response. 1-8, putting together list to request info. Asked what list, asked for what info, no response.
Before you go on, did we get any requests for information?
Any requests from Anshin?
Yeah,
We do periodically. You wanna see on that date?
I'm just looking, this is putting together the list to request.
Let me
And
look that up. I
And
have to
that
look
was
at-
dated
we keep all
on
the
1/6.
requests, of course.
1/8, I'm sorry.
so what you're saying, Linda, it could be down in the bottom.
I have no idea.
No,
Right, I
what she
understand
is
that.
saying is that they're saying they're preparing lists, are they actually sending them?
Yes.
You probably have a better record of that. is the
That's
way
all right,
you
it's
follow.
not this discussion. At your leisure, please find out about that, okay? 1-8, review with council litigation. Who? No response. 1-9, finalize recommendations tracker for Monday meeting with BPS and MK. So that's an internal meeting. I would love to know what recommendations, no response. Inventory and review of documents, emails received from IDA placed in necessary folders. $434 to put stuff in folders.
It's almost as good as binding.
Yep, the same person must be doing the binding.
Who's VP?
That's
Victoria
Victoria
Barrett.
Barrett.
Oh, right.
What items were received? What is this about? No response. 112, meet to discuss recommendations. What recommendations? No response. 112, recommendations, discussions. What recommendations? Request prep for IDA, prep for what? Submitted request to IDA, I think that's the same question you'll have. Did we ever get a request from the IDA on or about January 12th, Bill? So if you could put that on your list to find out,
Got it.
if they actually sent us anything. 112, report, litigation, stakeholder call, follow-up request. What report, what stakeholder, what follow-up, what counsel? No response. 114, agenda review, committee board meeting, call with council, employment data review pilot. I would have been fine with the last 2 or 3, but since we can't break it out, since they don't break it out, I'm not gonna pay this until we find out who was council and what review, agenda was reviewed. 114, started to draft report. What report? No response. 115, employment data policy, report follow-up litigation. Well, since they don't break it out, until we find out about litigation and who they're talking about, we're not paying this. 115, reporting. What report? 116, call with stakeholders. Who? What stakeholders? Litigation, CRM compliance. What's this about? No response.
Well, it does say call with Bill, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's fine, but it doesn't break it out.
No.
If it was broken out and said, oh, the call with
Well,
Bill was for an hour, I would pay
I'm
that.
I'm not saying that.
No,
I'm
I
saying
know you're
that's
not,
something
but that's
that
what
we
I'm
could-
trying to
something
say.
That we could look and check, I guess.
Why? Why should we check that? That's their billing. If they're gonna hide
No,
this
no,
stuff
no, no,
together,
no, no, no.
then why should we look at
Well,
it?
because you're asking for other, do we receive requests, I guess that would be another question. If we actually had conversations, I guess. Regarding what, I don't know, but
I don't know what CRM pilot is.
Crystal runs something.
No, usually CRM is like a contact management
Sure.
database, which might be the database they're talking about, which they still haven't told us what it's about. 116, reporting. Very insightful. No. 119, CRM pilot. Again, Bill, what is this?
I'm not sure at all.
No description, no comments. 121, committee and board meeting, review of data, review of employment data. Why were we billed 2 times? We were billed on 112 for this, and we're billed on 121 for this. I'd like to understand why we were billed twice before we pay anything. 121, project management. What project? 122, meeting with council. Who? 122, report documentation research. What document, what research? 127, document uploads, organization of Dropbox. What documents? It sounds like more filing. No response. 127, report, staff communication. What report and why are we paying for internal staff communication? 128, report and project management. What report, what project? 129, call with council. Who? Won't answer. 129, infamous reporting. What report? 130, call with council. Who? Won't answer. For those of you keeping score at home, on this January bill, over $6,379 titled report, with no documentation, no insights whatsoever. Also on this, over $6,800 for council. Not telling us who, not telling us why, not giving us any insights whatsoever. That's over $13,000 of this $19,000 bill. Awful.
so
Absolutely.
there isn't anything on here that.
No,
we-
January bill? No, there's nothing to pay on the January bill.
So, Mr. Chair, I've got just one observation and one question. any bills that come through regarding counsel on the litigation between Anshin and us should never be our responsibility to pay. That is their responsibility. So I just wanna say that. Number two, this isn't the first time we're going through this process. This isn't the first time that we've asked for additional information. I guess I'm just curious, and I don't know if, Brian, if you wanna comment, why can't we get the timely information about what these things are? You know we're gonna ask, why not just give it to us up
Today, we
front?
received from Rudy's firm a letter back that was 5 weeks old, and you do have to pay for all, and if you look at the state statute, you have to pay for the litigation, and you're gonna pay on both sides. You're paying for our outside counsel, which has already billed the state for it, and you're paying for all of it, but it's right in the state statute.
Okay, well, that answers that question, so I appreciate it.
Yep.
But there's no answer to
And
my.
also, just for clarity, the bill, and I just checked, February's goes to the state IG's office. Our contract is not with you. Our contract is with the state IG. They approve the bill. They have your February bill. It goes to them first.
Okay, well, but we still have to pay it, so we have the right to question.
Mhm.
I don't think there's anything in the statute that says we can't ask a
Correct.
question.
Yep.
So, as a woman who ran a business for 32 years, I would never pay a bill if I didn't know what it was about. And I still can't understand what these pieces are for. And you know we're gonna ask, you know they're gonna watch. Why can't Anshin just give us the, we're gonna ask it, so tell us up front so we can manage this process easier. It looks like, unfortunately from where I sit, that there is a reason why you don't wanna tell us. I mean, why else would you not tell us? And we've been doing this and asking back since 2025. So I'm just imploring you, if you wanna get your bills paid, why can't you just give us the right documentation so we know what it's for?
So several of the answers have been sent to council's office, to your council, from our council as to what they are. Several you will not get. You're not gonna get who the stakeholders are.
Then we can say we're not gonna pay for them.
That's fine.
Okay, so I just wanna make sure that we're
That's
clear.
fine. My contract's with the state IG's office.
However, your contract's with them, but we're required to pay. And good governance as well as good financial reporting requires us to question a bill directly with the person who created the bill, not the IG's office, because they didn't create the bill. They can sign off on anything they want, but we have the right and responsibility to question where our money goes. I think that's where our frustration is. You can talk to council all you want. The easiest part to do is to do better documentation on what the charges are for. I don't understand what that problem is. It makes no sense to me. Like I said, I ran a business for 32 years, a pretty big one. And all my consultants and all the people who billed me were required to exactly tell us what we were being billed for. Yes, you have terminology in here that doesn't, I mean, how are we supposed to pay for reporting? Reporting what? Why
So
can't you?
the reporting, that's comical. The report, there's 2 reports that come out every year. By state statute, we have to send those out to the stakeholders. And the next one is due on May 6th. And so Bill knows that. We go back and forth. Bill gets a copy of the report X amount of days before it goes final.
So it's reported twice a year?
Correct, there are 2 reports.
Then why
And that
is
was
it?
one of the ones that, the binding of that report that went to the stakeholders was one of the issues that was questioned at
Well,
last month's.
The question was because of the cost on the
Mhm.
binding was, it, for me, was extraordinarily high. I don't know, I could get a clerk for a lot less money, maybe it's much more expensive in Manhattan, I am so sorry that it is here. I guess all of us at the end of the day wanna make this work, that's really nice classical music. We've never not paid our bills, not as long as I've been here. But I think we
But the billing hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is with the litigation. You paid the same bill for 17 months, and we never went through any of this. The documentation is all the same. If you look at the bill from April of '24, it would be the same documentation on our
Well, you know what, maybe our chair for our finance committee has decided that in order for us to be compliant, that we make sure that we know how we're spending our money. So I think this has got nothing to do with litigation, this has everything to do with do the right thing at the right time for the right reason. And that's explained to us why we have to pay a bill. Now, I don't care about the IG, you have to explain it to us, because we're the ones who are gonna cut the check. So I'm just gonna say it again, regardless of council, just give us the documentation on what this is, so we're never gonna know who the shareholders are. Local constituents, political officials, you don't wanna give us the name, would be nice to know where this stuff went. We're stuck in a position that is untenable, as far as I'm concerned, to approve bills that we have no idea what that information is going for. Now, that's the only comment that I would have, and to ask you to consider giving us what we need.
We'll be getting some of the information, but the bills have already all been approved. They get approved by OIG.
I said, you can
Yep,
have.
that's where your February bill is right now.
As I said, they can approve it, it still has to come here. They can approve all they want, we still have to pay it. And whether, they don't need to ask the questions, because they don't need to, they're not paying the bill, we are. So we're gonna ask the questions, and we're gonna expect that you do the right thing at the right time for the right reason, and give us the information we need to pay the bill. I don't care, I said this is my third time, I don't care that the OIG approves it. They're not cutting the check, we are. So please don't stand behind that.
I'm just going what the contract says.
Okay, and I'm going to what's right.
Of course, what else the contract says is you don't have to bill up to $250,000.
Yeah.
But even though you haven't found a single T that hasn't been crossed, an I that hasn't been dotted, a comma that's out of place, how can you possibly spend $250,000 when you have not found a single thing that we have done wrong? No, you have us jump through hoops with your silly little best practices, then you move the goalposts, say, oh no, all that stuff you've been doing, well now it's this. It's all crap. So you sitting behind, well, the law says you don't have to bill us $250,000, but you sure do, don't you? You love it, you love that money. Yeah. We have a saying on Wall Street, bulls make money, bears make money, piggies get slaughtered. Greed, that's all this is about. So you can hide behind your little IG or whatever, it's all about your greed. It's disgusting.
So, speaking of this, so, Bill, is when the invoice actually comes to us, does it come from the IG then? And it says.
No, it actually
is there
does come from
anything-
Mansion.
It doesn't say anywhere in there that anything approval by the IG? It was like, the IG doesn't follow up and say, hey, by the way, we think this, it doesn't say anything.
Any communication like that.
So we really don't know if the IG, right? I mean, we don't have any documentation for that either, I guess.
I think it was Anshin that informed us what the process was from the beginning, that the bills were going to IG, getting approved for them, and then they were forwarding them to, and then Anshin was sending them to us.
So if you would think we'd have something from the, whether, it was, again,
I don't believe we do.
separately of
I
what
don't think we get
the
anything that
discussion
says
was.
that signed off
The
by
questions
IG,
are,
right?
you would
Something
think
like
you'd
that.
have something from them to say, hey, we,
We reviewed the bill.
yes,
That's
yes.
a good point. Yeah,
I just,
we don't. We don't get any communication like that from them.
So they're not sending you a letter saying, why haven't you paid these bills?
No,
just, and there's nothing.
just Anshin is inquiring.
There's
about it.
nothing from them saying this office has signed off on the following, and,
I don't recall any communication like that from them. Kelly doesn't either, I'm putting her on the spot, but I haven't.
Okay.
Nothing like that, we just get the bills from Anshin from Brian's assistant.
So we're approving the distribution that we have said for December.
Correct.
Do we know what that is?
the amount.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
December, what we approved for December?
We should, you just probably, it's that, you just have to add them up, I guess, but. you know, I can do it too.
We only have a few minutes, so we can go through it really quickly. We
I
have
can do the math if you want.
yeah, that's, 850.50,
Okay.
596.75, 992.25,
Okay.
488.25,
Mhm.
761.25, 380.63,
That's it,
and that's it for the month of
December.
December.
That totals $4,069.63, 4069.63.
And
Can you say that number again?
No,
Okay,
4069.63.
that's what I thought.
And for the month of January, absolutely nothing. Any further questions about the billing? Any comments?
I think I really do have one more thing I need to say.
Okay.
And this is for the folks who might be tuning in. I hope that you can understand that the IDA has and always will try to do the best thing for everyone in Orange County. I think as you watch what we're being charged for and our inability to verify that, there is nothing slanted in the way of Orange County doing Orange County's work on behalf of, with the IDA. It is very frustrating that we come back month after month and we find ourselves in the same position that we have when we have had absolutely nothing founded. I wanna repeat that. There's been nothing founded that this body has done to break the law, fudge the law, do anything that was inappropriate, even though it has been intimated that we have. I still take that as an affront because I believe that all of us sitting at this table are honest, dedicated volunteers on behalf of the people of Orange County. And I just want you to hear it from us, because I know you hear it from a lot of other people. But that's who represents this organization. Folks who want to do the right thing on behalf of the whole. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So can I get a motion to approve the payment of the agreed upon amount for the December pension bill?
I'll make a motion to approve $4,069.63.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any further discussion about that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I would like to make a motion to approve the financials for March and the payables for March of 2026.
Can we get a second?
Second.
Any
I have
fur-
one question.
Please,
On payables, is it just March or is it March and April?
just March.
Just March.
Because we're just showing you what's coming
Okay.
down the pipe.
Good.
So
Because
just
then
March.
we should adjust minutes for future,
Mm.
if that's our new system.
But I think it's pretty clear that we're approving the March financials and the March payables, not April.
Yeah, my agenda shows March, April payables. Did yours just show March?
Just- It says April. It should be March, you're right.
Thank you.
So if I could amend my motion just to reflect the March payables.
Amended? Can we get a second on that amended? Thank you. Discussions? In favor?
Aye.
We are passed. Any further discussions that this board feels it needs to have?
Yes, sir.
Then can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Fourth.